Good afternoon. We're going to go over this past week's trades and then a weekly recap. I finished the week with 19 wins and 6 losses for a win rate of 76% for the week, which isn't too bad. I like to strive for 80% or more, but this week was kind of tricky. A lot of news, a lot of noise, a lot of fake outs. So, with that said, if you before I get into that, the link is in the description of the video and in the my bio on Twitter and StockTwits if you want to be in the room. So let's get started. Monday I took 5 trades, actually 6 trades, and one of them was a loser. I think I had a loser every day this week. And Friday, I know yesterday I had 2 of them. So I don't usually have losers every single day, but this week I did, so it is what it is, whatever. But okay, the first one I had, I have SPY up, but the first one I like to go in order, so I go by timestamp. And also you can go on Twitter and you can see the timestamps. That's why I post the stats every day, so you can see the timestamps, and that way it's proof. It's not just something that I'm just saying and just typing after the fact. You're seeing that they alert exactly when I take it. So the 19th, we get to the 19th, which is right here. Okay, just trying to get the days right. I put the hourly on the left and put the 10-minute on the right, and the same ticker. So I usually do two tickers. I'm going to try something a little different today, so bear with me. What day? The 19th. Okay. I want to see the previous day and the day of. Now, I grabbed Facebook calls, 280 calls at $1.03 at 9:38, which is when it came back up right here. Now, as you can see, the 19th is right here. Now you have this, like, it gapped up a little bit in this area. It's been like popping over, like as you can see on open on Friday, it popped up and dropped to the RCT trend line, which is the orange line. So when it held this, I was thinking, okay, if it gets over this area, which is the pre-market high, it was going to pop, and it did. So I grabbed the 280 calls on 103, and they didn't go very much, to 120 in this. Being Monday, you have to buy far out of the money. Well, not too far on Facebook, but on some of them. That's why I don't trade that much on Mondays, because some of the stocks I trade are so expensive. You have to buy them way out of the money to even get a decent rate, decent price, and so I usually just stick to a certain amount of tickers on Mondays, and Facebook is one of them. So. But yeah, that went from $1.03 to $1.20, that little move. Then it get quickly rejected, which I thought we were going to have a monster run into 273, and it didn't. So I was a bit surprised about that. Then I took Apple puts. Let's see. Okay, which is the 19th right here. Now this is the day it gapped up and Facebook tried to pop. And when Facebook, did a fake out, where is the 19th on this one? Right in this area right here. Yeah, see a gap. It's running pre-market, and on Thursday, then on Friday it dropped a little bit, then it gapped up quite a bit. Well, not only a couple dollars on, but when Facebook dropped and this started to pop, then it dropped. It had like a little fake out. I ended up grabbing the Apple puts on after Facebook failed to break out. I mean, that was the next thing I looked at was Apple, and I grabbed the Apple 116 puts. Let's see. Yeah, I grabbed the Apple put at, let's see, 956, which is right here, 956, right when it started to drop down. As you can see, right on the 10-minute, Facebook did the same. Apple did the same thing as Facebook. It just popped a little bit and dropped. And when it got below this green candle right here, I was actually looking at it right about right here, because I'd rather see. I mean, I could have taken it there, but I'd rather see better confirmation down here. So that's why I grabbed it. So I grabbed the 116 puts at 88 cents, and they went to 242 on this big drop. Many in the room held it, which was a good play for a lot of people. Then I ended up grabbing SPY. I ended up grabbing SPY, and that was, let's see, right there. So I remember this dump. SPY on the hourly, which is right there. Okay, bring that up. Let's see, I grabbed SPY at 10.11, which is probably right here. Yeah, right here when it broke down right there. I grabbed the 346 puts at 69 cents. Now, on the hourly, let me just back this out a little more. Excuse my voice, it's very hoarse today. I don't know why. It's very annoying. Friday, you know, you get this right here with support, then it turned into resistance, and then this support turned into resistance, and Apple, Facebook selling off, and jumping in SPY. I mean, this was a no-brainer, so I grabbed the SPY right here, even though it did start to pop up the VWAP, but it quickly rejected. And I think news dropped right here about stimulus not working out. It's not like there's been so much stimulus news coming and going, and I just can't keep up anymore. It's so ridiculous. I just wish they would just pass it and the elections would get over, so that would eliminate half the news right there, or not news, half the noise right there, even more than half. And all we'd have to deal with is China. So yeah, so the 346 puts at 69 cents went to $4.79, and that complete drop if you held it all the way through. Roku was the next one. Let's see. No, I grabbed Roku puts. I normally don't trade Roku on Mondays because they're so expensive. But right here, let's see, Monday. Okay, I'll bring this up right here. This is Monday, right? No, right here. And you can see right here, it's this 224 level, and it breaks this level, it's just gonna dump. So I took the Roku 205 puts at 1034, which was right in here. Now I was expecting a break of this 220 because I had the 224 and a 220 level, and I thought for sure it was going to break. I mean, if you look at the hourly on, I mean, look at this. It's just chopping in between the 224 and the 220, and it popped up. I mean, you get like a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, and it did break down right here on the next day. Hopefully I took it. I'll have to check. I probably did. But anyways, yeah, I chased it right down here thinking we were going to get a break, and we didn't. So they went from the 205 puts. I mean, obviously right here we're at 220, 222, and I'm buying 205 puts. So far out of the money on a Monday. So when there's that far out of the money on a Monday, I just get in and out fast because they chop. They'll just get destroyed. So they went from 103 to 170 right there. That was at 1034. Then I grabbed Facebook puts at 153. Facebook puts. I wonder if there was news. Right there. Oh no, there wasn't news. I was going for the descending triangle right here. Because as you can see right here, you had the drop, then it had like a little descending triangle right there. There's the support, and there's the being pushed down and rejected VWAP, and then I broke right there. So I grabbed the 252 puts at 103, and let's see, they went to 103 to 170 right here. Actually, I said Roku went to 170. I'm sorry. Roku went to 113 to 139. I was looking at Facebook. But yeah, Roku. I'll bring back Roku. That was an error on my part. When I chased it right here, they went from 113 to 139. Yeah. Then Facebook was the one that went from 103 to 170. Yeah. Right. Make sure I get the right day. Yeah. Right in there. Right there. So then the last play of the day on Monday was XPX calls. Now that one I got wrong. That was the loser of the day. Let's see, where is Monday? Right here. Now, I have a little strategy I use on these end of the day plays when it's down this much, that you usually get an end of the day pop, and because the ES futures are all short and they need to buy the cover and they're not going to hold overnight, so that's why you see the end of the day rips. So I grabbed it at 246, which is right here. For some reason I think it was starting to turn right there. Let's bring it up to the 3-minute chart. Maybe we can see it better. But yeah, right in there. Right there is where I grabbed it because it started to pop up. I thought we were going to have a violent end of the day pop right there. And sometimes these end of the day pops, they happen at 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, 3:30. Even sometimes they even happen at like 3:45. It's I've even seen it sometimes. It happens the last 5 minutes of the day. I mean, it happens, and just timing it is sometimes hard. And I saw that big green candle coming in, and I thought, okay, this is it. So I jumped in, and that was the loss. So that was the loss on Monday. Now, let's see. Tuesday, yeah, I did take the Roku. Glad I did. I know I missed some plays here and there, and I don't like to chase everything that moves because that's not how I trade. Stick to a few stocks that you know well, and how they move and how they react to news, and it will greatly improve your percentage and how you trade and stuff like that. So now I had Facebook calls again on the 20th. I forgot right there. Let's see, I grabbed him at 9:33. I thought it was at 43. Yeah, let's see, where is it on the 20th? Yeah, see right here. Is this the 20th? Yeah. Okay. You got, this is where we shorted, and this is the 20th, and it got over this area right here, and it got over the 200 EMA on the hourly, but I wasn't really looking at it on the hourly. I took it at 9:33. Basically what I was looking at, gapped up and it sold down, was selling off. Why is my mouse doing that? Okay, my mouse is fixed now for some reason. Anyways, I grabbed the 270, 250 calls at 9:33, and like I was saying, that when it gapped up, it started to sell off. And you can see this was the previous day's support before it broke down right there. So I was looking if it could get back over, this pre-market area right here, which it did. Then I would get calls, and I did grab the 270, 250 calls at $1.20, and it just ripped through the day. I didn't hold through the drop and up here, but I know many people in the room did. So that was good for them. That went 100%. Then I took Roku 205 puts at, they blended the things. I have to look in the room to see what the actual timestamp is. When you look on Twitter and you see two alerts blended together, not showing at timestamps, because for some reason Discord blends the times, and you have to actually hover it over in the room. I'm looking at the actual timestamp, 9:38. Okay, so it was 9:38. I grabbed the puts, so it was right in here. So I grabbed the 205 puts. I mean, obviously right here we were watching this 220 level the previous day, and it came down, shot down really quickly, and I grabbed it right here, and it started to bounce, and it finally shot down. So they went from the 205 puts went from 96 cents to $1.64. Then it just chopped the rest of the day. Then it just dumped after hours. And I think that was on Netflix earnings is why it dumped. But yeah, this 220 level is in 224 is a big level throughout the entire week for Roku. Then I had SPY. This was the loss on Tuesday. SPY. I grabbed SPY puts at 11:05 on the 20th, which is right here. Grabbed the 20th right there. What time? 11:05. Oh, I grabbed it right down here. Yeah, because it popped up, rejected the 200 EMA, and it started to sell off. And I was like, okay, if it gets down below the 343 area, I'm going to grab it, and we should see a big dump. I was looking for it to come down here to the 330, the 341 area, and it quickly rebounded. And that did not work out. And I held it thinking, okay, we were going to, rebound, and I just finally cut it and at 78 cents to 38 cents. So I did cut it. I was really thinking that we were going to come back down, and because it started the curl right there coming down, and it just didn't work out, and it just shot up. I think it was stimulus news again. Pelosi was saying something, I don't know, optimistic. I think that was the word she used, if I remember correctly. Just one word just changes the whole dynamics, and it got taken out of that particular play. But I did grab puts again. I grabbed the first time I had 338s. Then on this big pop, I grabbed 343 puts at 158, which is right here. And as you can see, let me just back out just a little bit. Make sure I get the right day. Yeah, as you can see right here, this is the support, and this was heavy resistance in the in this 346.50 area. I mean, it was support held right here on this day, but it was just chopping in this range. So when I saw that from the previous day, I always refer to the previous day's actions for support and resistance, and I knew that above the 346 was going to be big resistance, and that if it rejected, that would be the area to take it. So I did, and I grabbed the 343 puts at $1.07, and they went to $2.30 right there. So that was a good play on that. Stimulus shenanigans is what I put on my Twitter, so that's exactly what happened. Then I had Facebook puts on the 21st. My loss, that was my first loss of the day, right there. And the reason I grabbed that was because Facebook took off after hours on Tuesday. Was that Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. And this is those calls I had, and there's some in the room held them overnight, and they ended up going up to like $11 the next day. So people sold $6, $7, $8. So they did really well holding overnight, even though I don't like holding overnight. The overnight's been kind of like my Achilles heel. So but anyways, you had this big run up after hours, and pre-market big run up. I mean, you got a huge disconnection between the price and the 200 EMA, and I thought for sure we would get the dump, and I got in, and I think it was green for a brief moment, and I was expecting a bigger dump, and I didn't. I was actually hoping to get to the 274, this area right here, which was support, previous support. And it didn't. It just shot up, and I stopped out of that. So that started out my day, and I was not in a very good mood about that. And that's when I dialed back my trading and just like, okay, I'm gonna just take it more cautious and whatever. So then we grabbed Netflix earnings reaction. Obviously they had earnings, it dumped, and I didn't grab it because when you have earnings, usually the next day options take 5, 10, 15 minutes to adjust. And even if the prices start coming in, there's just so much, IV involved that it just, or the spread's really bad. It's just better to wait 10, 15 minutes to let prices come down, to let spreads normalize or tighten up. And then when it dropped quickly here, I was a little like, whatever. But I was already in Facebook puts, and this is where I got stopped out right here. Then I noticed that Netflix was coming down right here. I was very hesitant about it at first because of my Facebook loss, and I just said, screw it. I grabbed it. I grabbed the 480 puts at 953, which is right here. Right here when it pushed through VWAP. I didn't grab it in this candle. I grabbed it right here. So they went from $1.43 to $3.99. So that was a good play. 480 puts. I mean, it's not too bad for a Wednesday. Price-wise, considering it just had earnings, but I mean, it did drop from $4.97, so it dropped almost $10 right there. So then I had Disney puts. Now I had Disney puts at 1050 right here. Where is he? Right here. Okay. You can see I already have my levels already drawn out for Disney. We just narrow this down so we know where we are on the hourly. At 21st, right there. No, right here. I grabbed Disney at 1050, which I believe is right here. As you can see, it had a huge pop, and you get the 126 area right here. I grabbed it right when it's starting to get weakness. 1050, which should have been right here. I think it was right after it started to come down, right when it started to break below this area right here. The 1026 is where I grabbed it, and it went down to VWAP, actually to the 20 EMA and the 200 EMA, which is the purple and blue line. So they went from 113 to 159 in this little drop, and it quickly recovered, and it just made a symmetric ascending triangle and pop. But yeah, I grabbed it right there. Boom. Then I had SPX. Let's see. 34.35 puts on the 21st. I had it at 3 o'clock, 3:04 to be exact, which is right here. Now, let's see, where are you on the hourly? Bring you in closer. I mean, you can see on the hourly, there's like a trend line going down right here. So, I mean, you could draw the trend line right there, and it's rejecting this area. It's coming down. It's at 3 o'clock. It rejected at the 34.65. Then this was the support right there, which it broke down and retested that. And then it broke down right here, and that's where I grabbed it. The 34.35. Then went from $1.30 to 220, 225. Now it probably would have made a bigger run, but because it came down, popped up again, it just theta wrecked it right here, just in this little 20 minutes right there. But they did still go to 225 in the initial big drop. So that's the risk of having the end of the day SPX lottos, or lottos in general, that if it chops even a tiny bit, like right here or right here, you can go red. And even if it goes down in your favor, heavily, that you could still be red in your options. So you just got to be aware of that. That's just how it is, and you have to adjust for it. So then Thursday, I traded a lot on Thursday. I had 5 wins and 1 loss on Thursday. Let's see. So Facebook was the first one. I'll back it out so you can see the day before. Now I had Facebook calls at $1.06, and pretty much did the same thing. A gap down. It's just chopping in this little area right here after hours and pre-market. And on the hourly mean, it did look like it was getting kind of top heavy, but it just, I really thought it was going to drop more, but I'm not gonna fight it. So when I did see that it gapped down and started recovering, popping right there, I grabbed the 287.50 calls on $1.06, and I think I even called on the room that if it gets over 280, I'll grab it, and that you gotta watch the 282 area, because that's the resistance from the previous day. So it did grab at 9:31, right at the bell. Then went from $1.06 to $1.36, only a 30-cent push right there on a Thursday. Not too bad. Then I switched sides really quickly, because when I saw that it rejected this area, which I knew it would, well, I didn't know it would. I had there was a high probability it would reject, because it just chopped here. Where is it? Yeah, right there. And this was previous resistance, which turned into support. So when it did fail that, and it was a big red candle through VWAP, I grabbed the 272.50 puts right there, 80 cents, and they went from 80 cents to $1.60, 100% down to the 200 EMA. So I'm not always bearish, which people always think I am, but I'm not. I flip-flop most of the time. I just prefer it to short because the moves are just more substantial. So then I end up grabbing BA puts. Now BA just is, you can always count on BA just to never work out. Just bring it up. I grabbed BA at what time? 10:24 on the 22nd, which is probably right here. 24 right in here. Now let me blow this up so you can see it. If you look at the previous day, I mean, it just, this is the area that it's been like support and resistance. So this was the area that I was looking at, and it popped up when it rejected this 200 EMA and started to come down through VWAP. That's where I grabbed it. I grabbed it at 75 cents, and that little drop to 94 cents. Nothing substantial, but then it just quickly reversed on that one. So they went from 75 to 94 cents. Then I grabbed Tesla twice. Let's see, what day was this? Thursday, right there. I grabbed Tesla 445 calls, and they blended. Let's see what they say. 10:30, which is probably right about right here. No, 10:30, right here. No, 10:30. Look at the timestamps right here. I mean, obviously you can see right here, support right there, the previous day. You can always look at the day before. And it started to wick right there, and I grabbed it. I grabbed the 445 calls. They went from $1.75 to $2.18 just in this little area right there. Just in that one candle, they just shot up. Let's see, what is that? 40 cents. So that's a quick little 40 cents, you know, go in with 10 contracts. That's an easy $400 right there. So then I end up grabbing the Tesla again, the 442.50 calls. I grabbed these ones at 10:51 because it came back down and it started to come back up. I mean, I bought it here the first time, sold it in this one. Then when it came back down, I grabbed it again, but I grabbed closer to the strike at the money, and they went from 224 to 350 in this little push right here. So actually, I think I grabbed it at 10:51. Yeah, I waited for it to get right here. I did not buy it down here. I waited for here because I actually was thinking when I saw it come back down quickly, it was thinking it was going to come down to the 422 area, but it didn't. When it came back up, when it quickly popped right over this area, that's when I ended up grabbing it. And so they went from 224 to 250 just from this to this. 224 to 350, yeah. Then the last one of the day was BA. I mean, BA was a very, very tiny loss. Got BA puts. Let's see. I'm not going to blow it up on that because you can see it on the hourly. I grabbed him at what time? 310. 310, which I believe is right here. Right in here. Double topped. 310. I bought in this area right in here. I think I would bought it right because I think I was actually buying it right here, expecting it to drop. I'm sure if I took a 3-minute look at it, it probably, yeah, I think I bought it right here. No, right here, right there, right in here, right in here is where I bought it. Then it popped up, then it came back down, and even though I bought it down here, the puts were going up as it was going up. It was very, very, very strange, which it does happen from time to time. But as you can see, if you look the day before, days before I should say, you get resistance in the 169 area, then you get resistance in the 170s. So I mean, I was just, when it was chopping up here, I thought, oh, for sure. I mean, it went from 164 to 169, and BA just it likes to lose its gains most of the time. So when I saw it up at that 170 area, 169, I thought, okay, and it started to reject. You rejected here and it chopped, so I was looking for a bigger drop. and it didn't. It shot up, then it came back down, so I was able to minimize my loss. So I ended up selling at 98 cents from $1.03. It was only a 5-cent loss, so I did manage to recoup that. But like I said, as it was going up, puts were going up too, so it was strange. Then Friday, I ended up going 3 wins and 2 losses, so Friday was not a good day for me. Usually Fridays are my strongest days, but not always. Let's see, what was the first one? BA was my first. Let's see, let me get the right days up. Okay, BA was the play of the day. I got 167.50 puts at 57 cents right at the open. Right when it, BA, like I said, I had it right here. I was going to hold overnight. I'm glad I didn't, because when I did, I looked at the next day, the puts were like half the value, and they would have recovered, but I'm just glad I didn't, because I always anticipate they're going to gap it up overnight. And that's what they did. They gapped up a tiny bit. So when it got right here, it started to sell off this white line as previous day's close. When it broke through that, that's right when I grabbed it, 57 cents to 190. That was a really good play. Then I ended up grabbing, let's see, Tesla. This was my first loss. I'm usually pretty good about buying the dip on Tesla, but I didn't really do a good job. 946, I believe, is right here. It started to wick. It started to come up. I grabbed the, let's see, 422.50 calls at $1.51, and it came back down. They went red and they popped up. I did sell some, like $1.63, $1.66 or something like that. I can't really remember. I think it was in the 166. I reduced my position because it went red, and then it started to go green. I got out, so I didn't lose much on that because I was able to dump most of my position, but the overall position was a loss, so I gotta call it a loss. But yeah, that's what happened on Tesla. I initially actually said that I was looking for it under like 400, 410, and I should have waited just a little longer, but it just it looked like it was inside candle right here. It opened up higher, so I thought for sure she was going to reverse and shoot through VWAP, but it didn't. It kind of got me. And I know some people in the room took a loss, and some people didn't. So, yeah. Next one was Roku Calls. Let's see. I had Roku twice, I think. Yeah, I had Roku Calls inputs. I flip-flopped on that one. Obviously, Roku, I was watching that level again. I grabbed the calls at 1018, which is right here, when it went and bounced off this 220 and came back with a nice big red green candle right over that 220.40 area. That's where I grabbed it, and they went from 57 cents to 70 cents, just in that little push. Then it just chopped. And when it was chopping right here and having a descending triangle right there, you can see, you can even draw the line all the way down if you want. And it's flat right there. Grabbed it right in here. And I grabbed it at 1055. Now these ones I grabbed too early. I grabbed right here. Right here, I think. Anticipating it was going to break. And then it went up and it chopped a few candles. So they went from 62 cents to 78, and just in this little 2 or 3 candle chop right there, it just killed the play. If they made its move right here, that they probably would have gone 100%. But that little chop, I mean, it's Friday lottos. That's the name of the game. You gotta anticipate it. You gotta deal with it and adapt to it. So that's just the way it is. The last play of the day was my second loss, which was Baba. Baba squeezed on me. Let's see, what time did I grab that? 157. Right here, I think. 157. Right here. Right in here is where I grabbed it. As you can see, pre-market high, it started to reject. You look over here, I mean, it's got a lot of resistance in this 308 area. So I figured, okay, 308 be a good area to short. We get a little red candle right there. Went from 304 to 308. That's a pretty big move for BABA on a Friday. I mean, it can make bigger moves than that, but Fridays usually BABA doesn't go too much. But I grabbed the let's see, 307.50 puts, because I was looking, okay, if this dropped right here, 307's right there. It's only like $1.50 away. Actually, only $1 away. So I grabbed it. They were 40 cents. So I was like, okay, that's a good little risk reward if it drops, and it just popped. So I ended up getting out at 21 cents. So that was the last play of the day on Friday. It wasn't my best week, obviously, based on history, but it was not a bad week. Hopefully, like I said, the stimulus news will get out of the way soon, and elections are coming up in another week and a half. So hopefully, the market will normalize a little bit, or as much as possible, and make these plays a little easier to hold and stuff like that. So that's going to do it for the weekly recap. I hope this has helped and help you understand why I took them, where I took them, and stuff like that. So thank you for watching.